Country and People, a place to pray for the reunification of South and North Korea, 용문산 National Salvation Prayer Center. Come and pray with us. Late in the Japanese reign in Korea from 1940, the place where we prayed for the liberation of Korean people from Japan. As the Golden Cross appeared from this ground, it was the place where we could see the whole country. After the liberation in August 15, 1945, while praying for the nation to prostrate itself before the altar on earth from April 30, 1963, piling up natural stone towers, 24 hours a day with non-stop prayer, until today for the reunification of the country South and North Korea. It is an altar where prayer continues, a unified country without war, until the Korean peninsula is evangelized. 용문산 National Salvation Prayer Center Q&A. Who is praying at the National Salvation Altar? Anyone who wants to pray for the country. When can we pray at the National Salvation Altar? Anytime when you ask for prayer. How can we pray? 82-054-435-5807. You can apply by phone to the Altar of National Salvation. What kind of prayer can we do at the National Salvation Altar? Only prayer for the country and people. Personal prayers are not allowed. When did the National Salvation Prayer start? April 30, 1963 from 1 a.m. How long will the prayer last? It continues until South and North Korea are unified as one. How long should we pray for salvation? Start praying every hour and pray for an hour. Where is the prayer center? 551-12 용문산길 어모면 김천 경북 용문산 Prayer Center. 용문산 Prayer Center Main Gate. The Altar of National Salvation sign. The road from Ehangchon. On the way from the church, if you go up the stairs next to the hostel, the Korean flag on the right, left the cross tower. There's the Altar of National Salvation in the center. The prayer procedure. First, call 82-054-435-5807. Arrive at the 용문산 Prayer Center on time. Submit your application to the Altar of National Salvation and write a guest book. Wait 30 minutes in the waiting room, do preparation prayer. Tap the signal bar to notify the shift. Sit at the altar and pray for the National Salvation for 1 hour. End the prayer when the next person's signal bar rings. Passing in and shifting. Whether it rains or snows, the supplication cries out at the altar, and it saved this country and the history of this nation. Even at this time, every second, every minute, someone prays for the country and for the people, and for the reunification of Korea. My eyes fail from weeping. I am in torment within. My heart is poured out on the ground because my people are destroyed, because children and infants faint in the streets of the city. Lamentations 2:11. Let my eyes overflow with tears night and day without ceasing, for the virgin daughter, my people, has suffered a grievous wound, a crushing blow. Jeremiah 14:17. Whenever the nation goes through a hard time, God made the tears flow at the National Salvation Altar. May the prayer for the nation never cease. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. Jeremiah 29:13. At this altar of national salvation, we have prayed for the country and the people. It's already been over 57 years. Even with 500,000 prayers, we have so much more left to pray for the country and the people, higher than the mountain. The altar of national salvation at 용문산 Prayer Center, 82-054-435-5807. Request for prayer right now. Non-profit organization, Korean Methodist Church, Ehangsup 용문산 Prayer Center. The National Salvation Altar, the National Salvation Altar, 82-054-435-5807.